The 2024 election saw Donald Trump return to the White House. His second term promises significant policy shifts with far-reaching consequences, particularly for the residents of Colorado. This essay examines the projected economic impact of Trump's policies on housing and healthcare costs in Colorado cities. We will explore the potential effects of his anti-immigrant stance, proposed cuts to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the possibility of repealing the Affordable Care Act. While Trump has also proposed tax incentives and plans to open federal lands for housing, this essay will primarily focus on the potentially negative impacts of his policies, particularly in cities like Aurora, Colorado. The potential consequences of Trump's policies are a source of anxiety for many Coloradans. His hardline stance on immigration, epitomized by the controversial Operation Aurora, has raised concerns about labor shortages in key sectors. These shortages could fuel inflation and drive up the cost of living. Simultaneously, proposed cuts to HUD programs threaten to exacerbate the affordable housing crisis, impacting low-income families and individuals most severely. The potential repeal of the ACA, a cornerstone of the American healthcare system, has further amplified concerns. Such a move could leave millions of Americans without health insurance, including a significant number of Coloradans. The state's robust healthcare infrastructure, bolstered by the ACA, could be severely strained. This perfect storm of policy changes has the potential to reshape the economic landscape of Colorado, making it increasingly challenging for many to afford basic necessities like housing and healthcare. The following sections delve deeper into these potential impacts, analyzing the specific ways in which Trump's policies could affect the lives of Coloradans. One of the most immediate impacts of Trump's policies could be felt in the construction industry. His anti-immigrant stance, coupled with the specter of Operation Aurora, has sparked fears of mass deportations. This could lead to a significant shortage of construction workers, many of whom are immigrants. A labor shortage would likely drive up construction costs, which would then be passed on to home buyers in the form of higher prices. This could exacerbate the already challenging housing market in cities like Aurora. Aurora, a city with a large immigrant population, is particularly vulnerable to these policies. The city has already been the target of Trump's rhetoric, with his July 2024 rally focusing on unsubstantiated claims of a gang takeover. This rhetoric creates a hostile environment for immigrants and could further contribute to labor shortages in the construction sector. The potential economic fallout could be significant, as rising housing costs could displace families and strain the local economy. The impact of these policies extends beyond the construction industry. A labor shortage in one sector can have ripple effects throughout the economy, leading to higher prices for a variety of goods and services. This could disproportionately affect low-income communities who are already struggling to afford basic necessities. The potential for increased economic hardship is a serious concern for many Coloradans. As we move to the next section, we will explore the potential impact of Trump's proposed cuts to HUD programs and how they could exacerbate the affordable housing crisis in Colorado. Trump's proposed cuts to HUD programs pose a significant threat to affordable housing in Colorado. HUD funding is crucial for providing housing assistance to low-income families, seniors, and individuals with disabilities. These cuts could force housing authorities to reduce the number of vouchers available, potentially displacing thousands of Coloradans from their homes. The consequences of such a scenario would be dire, leading to increased homelessness and further straining the social safety net. Furthermore, HUD funding is essential for developing and maintaining affordable housing units. Cuts to these programs could halt the construction of new affordable housing, exacerbating the existing shortage. This would disproportionately impact those most in need, including families struggling to make ends meet, and individuals transitioning out of homelessness. The lack of affordable housing options could have cascading effects, leading to increased poverty and social instability. The potential loss of HUD funding has raised alarms among housing advocates and policymakers in Colorado. They argue that these cuts would be devastating for the state, undermining years of progress in addressing the affordable housing crisis. The impact would be felt most acutely in cities like Aurora, where the demand for affordable housing already far outstrips supply. In conclusion, the potential cuts to HUD programs represent a significant threat to affordable housing in Colorado. These cuts could displace families, exacerbate homelessness, and undermine efforts to create a more equitable housing market. While the specter of labor shortages and HUD cuts looms large, Trump has also proposed policies aimed at increasing housing affordability. One such proposal involves offering tax incentives to encourage homeownership. These incentives could make it more attractive for individuals and families to purchase homes, potentially boosting demand in the housing market. However, critics argue that such incentives primarily benefit higher-income earners, doing little to address the needs of low- and moderate-income households. Another proposal involves opening up federal lands for housing development. This could potentially increase the supply of land available for housing, which could help to moderate price increases. However, this proposal has faced significant pushback from environmental groups who argue that it would lead to the destruction of valuable natural resources. Additionally, developing infrastructure on federal lands could be costly, potentially offsetting any affordability gains. The effectiveness of these proposals in addressing Colorado's housing affordability crisis remains uncertain. While they offer a glimmer of hope, their impact is likely to be limited, especially given the potentially countervailing effects of other Trump policies. The true test will lie in the specific details of these proposals and their implementation. It is crucial to approach these proposals with a critical eye, recognizing both their potential benefits and drawbacks. The complex interplay of various factors will ultimately determine their impact on housing affordability in Colorado.